Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the excitement of ACC College Volleyball as the 11th-rated Pitt Panthers host the Boston College Eagles. Pitt has dominated the series between these two schools, losing just once. Take a look at the ACC standings, a very unusual season, a short season. Both Pitt and Boston College winless in their first weekend in ACC competition. And as I bring in our analyst tonight, Anna Connolly, in a short season, urgency has to be very high tonight for these two teams.
Oh, it is. 4 games down, 4 games to go. And as of right now, there's an April 2021 postseason, which makes an 8-game season that much important.
Now, this match tonight, crucial for both teams, and a couple really good players on both sides of the net.
Yes, let's start with BC. We have Claire Naughton, number 8. She is BC's go-to outside hitter. She leads this team with 23 kills. And what really stands out to me about Naughton is how athletic she is. Her athleticism allows her to be that complete, all-around player we continually talk about in volleyball. Now, as for Pitt, on the other side of the net, we see Kayla Lund, number 23. She is also Pitt's go-to outside hitter. But look at that. I mean, her resume is insane. Reigning Player of the Year, second-team All-American. The list goes on, and for good reason. She is, again, a complete all-around player we always look for.
Home opener for Pittsburgh, and they get the championship rings tonight. That and the first service on the way next. Look at the Boston College starting lineup. They come in at 0-2, losing 2 matches to Louisville last weekend. And also of note, look at Amaka Chukwujekwu, also very good preseason All-ACC pick for Boston College. For Pittsburgh, they are likewise 0-2, dropping 2 matches to Syracuse last weekend. And the coaches for Pittsburgh, Dan Fisher, he has been fantastic now in his 8th season at Pittsburgh. He's won almost 78% of his matches. And for Boston College, it's Jason Kennedy in his 3rd season, leading the Eagles to a 20-victory season last year. Boston College jumped the gun a little bit, and they had a service ace, so they lead it 1-0. Boston College in black, and the homestanding Pitt Panthers in white. The set there, the outside hit, that's well returned. Pitt earns its first point. If you're unfamiliar with college volleyball, best of 5 sets. First 4 sets to 25, win by 2, rally scoring. If we get to a 5th set, we play to 15. As you get a look at Zoe Faki, redshirt senior from Athens, Greece, and she will serve it up for the Panthers. Coming in from the right side, dig by a KO for Pittsburgh. And the point to Boston College.
That's going to be huge. So one thing with this Pitt team we've seen so far this season, and their 2 games with Syracuse specifically, is their out-of-system play. Now, normally it's amazing, right? Against Syracuse, Syracuse really got them out of system. So, of course, how you win volleyball games is how effective you are on your out-of-system play.
Great block at the net. Sabrina Starks was there along with Chinaza Ende for the Panthers to earn the point, and we're level at 2.
You know, head coach Dan Fisher was talking about Sabrina Starks earlier this week, and one of the things he talked about was her blocking. I mean, her blocking is unbelievable. She closes the block, and one thing we have to pay attention to, and I'll say it, I'll be a broken record today, but she doesn't watch the ball when she blocks. She watches the hitters, and she pays attention to where the hitters are looking and where their bodies are facing.
Popovich with the serve. Big swing on the right side from Naughton, but it is handled, and that one finds some floor. Well struck by Ende for Pitt.
For this Pitt team, again, here we go. You have that out-of-system play, and who capitalizes better on this Pitt team than not just Chinaza Ende, but Kayla Lund also. Those are my 2 key players. if they can funnel the ball in their outer system to them, they're so good at capitalizing on it.
Again, great block at the net. Let's take a look at Pitt's keys to victory tonight for head coach Dan Fisher and the Panthers.
Well, look, Pitt, they're 3-time ACC champions, right? We know that. They got to just focus on their game. Syracuse got them off their rock a little bit earlier in the season, and tonight they just have to focus on their game. Limit the errors and serve aggressively. I saw a couple of service errors in that Syracuse weekend, and that's just so unlike Pitt. They have a lot of senior leadership, and along with senior leadership is serving aggressively and not missing your serve. Like we just saw, right? This is a game of pass and serve, and getting a good aggressive serve over is key to winning these games.
Maria Popovich is serving. She played the previous 3 seasons at East Tennessee State, the SoCon Libero of the Year in both 2017-2018. She has the ace for Pittsburgh, and really both of these teams struggled with service last weekend.
They did, and that's exactly, so in volleyball we say this a lot. Aggressive serve, what does that mean? It means hitting the correct zones, right? We have 6 zones in volleyball on the court. I could go into it, it's not worth it. But in the zones, it means hitting those zones depending on what rotation you're in, etc. And one thing that this Pitt team does well when they're rolling, when they're focusing on their game, is serving their zones and serving aggressively. Not just going for the ace, but going to put the opposite team out of system.
Big swing coming in from Lund, and it finds some floor, and Pitt is rolling early, and this is something that we heard from Dan Fisher when we talked to him earlier this week. He said, against Syracuse, it just took us a while to get into sets, and then it was too late. They've scored 6 straight.
No, and that's exactly what Pitt does. I mean, that's their game, is they get on you fast. First point out of the gate, it's an ace. It's a big block, and that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight.
Lund with her 2nd kill of the match. And a mishit by Bridget Green for the Eagles. And Popovich has had a real good run of service, and timeout taken by Boston College as the homestanding Panthers an 8-2 lead. We'll step aside. Dan Fisher, his club, has gotten off to a fast start. Very gratifying after dropping a couple of matches last week at Syracuse. Panthers got their championship.
Right? And your defense doesn't just start with passing the ball. Your defense starts with your block, right? Setting a good block, and your defense then, the people that pass the ball, can go around your block. That's going to be the biggest key for BC. Additionally, a game of serve and pass. I always say it, serve aggressively.
Lund, wow. Big swing and another kill for Kayla Lund. And it's a 9-2 Panther lead.
What makes Kayla Lund so dynamic? I mean, out of system, right? That's a weird set that she's getting. There's no other word for it other than weird. And she can put the ball down. She hits so hard. She hits so hard. And not only does she hit hard, but she's smart with it, right? This is a game. Again, we're trying to hit it where the other team isn't. That's the simple part of volleyball. And it's hard to do that sometimes because the easy shots are usually where someone is standing. And one thing Kayla Lund can do so well is hit it hard and hit it where the other team isn't.
They need to adjust the antenna. But Kayla Lund, it's been an upward trajectory for her career. Her hitting percentage has increased every year from 180 to 244 to 266, now to 333. We're only 2 matches in. That hitting percentage is going to go up if she continues to play as well as she has through the first 11 points.
No, it is, and that's what Dan Fisher always talks about, is how good his program is at developing players. He brings them in, and they have good, long careers in Pitt. They have, 4 or 5 years. He redshirts a lot of players, but by the time that they come in as a freshman, they're so much better when they're seniors. And that seems obvious, but a lot of times it isn't. And a lot of times it's really important to show that for so many reasons. Yes, the success of your program, but also recruits, right?
Meanwhile, Boston College has 10 new players, so you're looking at a very veteran Pittsburgh team and a actually a very young Boston College club.
Well, exactly, and that's what Jason Kennedy, so I was familiar with him growing up in Southern California. He was the assistant under Mick Haley, I believe, at USC in the women's program, and this is his 3rd, 4th season here, I believe now, and he's done a great job of getting those recruits in. The recruits that he likes. And again, it's kind of rebuilding at this point. He gets to bring in this freshman class and really just develop them, right? These freshmen are getting playtime their freshman year. That's rare. So obviously by the time that now they have an extra year of eligibility. So if they stay 5 years, by the time that they're fifth-year seniors, they're going to be unbelievable. Not just because of their skills, but because of their chemistry as well.
20-12 for Jason Kennedy and BC last year, 11-7 in conference, their highest ACC finish, and the first time they had a winning record in ACC conference matches.
One thing Jason Kennedy and every coach talks about what he brings to the table is his fast tempo offense, right? He runs a 6-2 with two pretty young setters right now, but having said that, it's so fast and it's really hard for the opposing team to get their block and their defense set.
Great block in the middle. Tuku Jakwu was in there in the middle for Boston College to earn the third Eagle point here in the first set.
That's exactly what I'm talking about for BC on defense, is stay disciplined, especially with your block. When a ball is out of system, right? Out of system means it wasn't a perfect pass. It wasn't passed to the right front of the court. The chances of the options that the setter has to set, they get lower, right? So as blockers for BC in that instance, they know where the ball is set. It's going to be set.
Wakolo with the kill. Wakolo averaging 1.63 kills per set. Powerful right-handed swing just inside the line. Tunaza Ende, the senior out of Houston, Texas, on the service for the Panthers. And a big swing by Katrina Jensen, earning the point for Boston College. BC has only won one of its 4 serves in this match. We're going to try and get that going. Here's Claire Naughton, senior out of Atlanta, Georgia. One of 2 returning starters for Jason Kennedy. Lund.
Perfect pass, perfect set, perfect hit, right? Huge, heavy arm on Kayla Lund, and she's able to recognize that there's a hole in BC's block and capitalize.
Second team All-American, ACC Player of the Year. You said it in the open, Anna. The resume just goes on and on and on. Some momentary confusion for Boston College. Giannicelli got it over. And Boston College getting the point with the block at the net.
And this is nice on the block so far from Boston College. I'm sure we've seen some holes, but they've had some good opportunities here where they are reading the block well and they're closing it, so no holes. Everyone is shoulder to shoulder. Their hands are faced in the court, pressing over, keys to a good block.
That was number 9, Katrina Jensen, one of the aforementioned freshmen for BC. And another one finding the floor for Pittsburgh, Jordan Lockwood. Ashley Browski subs in for Pittsburgh. Browski, sophomore from Ohio, with a service error. Browski, sophomore from Highland Heights, Ohio. Set a career high in both matches against Syracuse with 7 digs. And now it's Sophia Lambros. She'll serve for Boston College. Coming from the other side, Sabrina Starks.
You can tell Pitt's serve receive is on point tonight. The past 3 serve receives by Pitt have been perfect, absolutely perfect passes.
Pitt continuing its roll, and they get an ace. Served up by Kylie Liebers.
Number 6, Kylie Liebers.
And about Pitt, you talked about redshirting players. Kylie Liebers is a redshirt senior from Washington, Pennsylvania. Missed all of last year with an ACL injury. And the block goes out.
That kind of offense is exactly what we're talking about with Jason Kennedy. Lots of fast-moving parts. Everyone is transitioning. So transitioning in volleyball is when you're at the net, right, blocking, and then you have to get back. There's certain footwork, etc., to getting back so you can do a nice approach to hit the ball. And the key to Jason Kennedy's offense is transitioning fast, efficiently, and then being ready to hit a high-tempo ball. Wow.
Big, heavy arm from Ende. This is a Pittsburgh team I'm impressed with seeing the power with which they swing. And accuracy, of course.
No, and exactly. I think that's just it, is in volleyball, a lot of times we see these tall girls come in and they just hit the ball hard. And that works until it doesn't work, right? So Pitt keeps that, foot on the pedal and hits the ball really hard. But also, like we talked about, Dan Fisher develops his players to be smart and agile in addition to their heavy arms.
Great dig by a KO for Pittsburgh. And Lund. Again.
So the previous point that Pitt wins, they hammer the ball over, right? And now we see Kayla Lund be smart, go off the hands. She noticed that the BC block wasn't quite there, and she capitalized on it.
Lund averaging about 4.5 kills per set last weekend. Already has 5 tonight. Great block. Ende doing a little bit of everything right now for Pittsburgh.
And this is going to be key in a BC fast-tempo offense like this. It's key for the right side, number 5, right, Ende, to really pay attention to her hitter, because she's gonna end up having those one-on-one solo block opportunities. So again, I'll say this: it's ball setter, ball hitter. You look at the ball, you see where it's being set, right, and then you look at the hitter.
So a Faki with the service for Pittsburgh. Great dig, Akeo with the set, Lund with the tip. The Boston College equal to the task. Akeo, another dig for the Panthers, setting it up. And that one from Ende again. Ende was great in the first match against Syracuse last weekend, tailed off in the second match. And one thing, Anna, we talked about the sense of urgency. Well, the sense of urgency is there for Pittsburgh tonight. They have an 18-7 lead here in the first set.
It's key at this point in the game for Pitt not to let up. They have to keep on focusing on their serves, keep on focusing on their service team so they can get their offense firing up, like they've been doing all game.
and for several years. I mean, 19-plus wins every year since 2013. They've won the last 3 ACC titles, a preseason pick to win it again this year. They returned 4 of 7 starters. And when they come in this building, there's no kryptonite in sight. They handle their business when they're at home, and they have never lost to Boston College in this building.
No, and I really enjoyed playing in this building when I was playing because it's such an energetic atmosphere. Even with a crowd not here, we have cardboard cutouts, it's still pretty energetic, and it gets loud in here, which is so key in such a momentum sport like volleyball.
How hard is it for players because there isn't a live crowd here? You talk about it being a momentum sport. How do you manage your emotions, and how important is the bench in trying to keep the team spirit up when the crowd isn't there.
Bench is huge, right? Players and coaches agree on this across the board. Even when there is a crowd, it's important for a bench to be loud and lively. In this circumstance, though, they've never been more important, right? Especially when you're traveling and you don't have kind of that home team advantage. Benches need to be loud.
Meanwhile, Boston College on the wrong end of an 18-7 count here in the first set. Kills 12-3 favoring the home side. Lund is blocked at the net. Well done by BC.
Big momentum right here, right? Down 10, end the game at least with a little bit of momentum. And blocks, I don't know why, but blocks are just big momentum shifts in volleyball.
Gabby McKay was there along with Izzy Clavena for Boston College. 18-8 the count. Service by Murphy for the Eagles. And that a quick strike opportunity for Pittsburgh, and BC's not able to get it back. And Sabrina Starks and the Panthers closing in on set number 1, and Starks with a laser.
Alexis Akeo, number 1, the setter for Pitt. She's a sophomore. You cannot tell she's a sophomore, right? We had kind of an out-of-system pass that we just saw there. Not perfect, again. And she still set up a middle, which is incredibly difficult to do.
She was the ACC Freshman of the Week 8 times last year, setting a new conference record. And that's long.
You know, I saw that when I was going over my notes, and I had to go back and check on the 2019 postseason release.
Make sure it was real.
Count. 1, 2, are you kidding? 8 times? But you believe it. I mean, in her play, she was unbelievable. Speechless about Alexis Akeo's play.
And Popovich, who had a great run of service at the start of this set, serves it up for the Panthers. And that's long from Elena Crabtree.
BC's goal right now is to get some momentum, like you've been saying, but especially break this serve, because Popovich came up in the earlier in this set and dominated BC with their serve. If they can break this serve, it's not just a physical point thing, but it's also a mental thing that can help BC.
Another great block, but handled by Crabtree for the Eagles. And the point to Pitt.
Yeah, so it looks like a ball kind of went over the net there. And Sophia Lambros, right, she's a freshman. So this is what we talk about with experience. Great effort, one-handed save, but it looks like her shoulder or her side got into the net a little bit. Obviously can't do that in volleyball. I like it, though. It's aggressive, and it shows just really taking the game by the reins, especially this late.
And the aggressive serve goes long.
Boston College.
So Panthers 3 points shy of a first set victory.
Serve for Boston College, number 1, Grace Penn.
Grace Penn in to serve for the Eagles. Pittsburgh lost the first match 3-2. They won the first, dropped the second and third, won the fourth, and then lost the fifth at 15-9. And then were swept in the second match between those two teams. And another great swing by Ende.
And this, welcome to volleyball with Alexis Akeo. It does not matter where she is on the court. I mean, that's set, and then, of course, funneling it to either Chinonza Ende or Kayla Lund. They capitalize. They know when Ende goes up at the net and she sees one-on-one blocks, she knows in her head, oh, I got this. This is my point.
Ende's younger sister also plays volleyball at American University in Washington. Lund, beautiful change of pace to earn the point for the Panthers. 1 point away, set point for the Panthers.
You have to hate this if you're BC, Beautiful, smart play from Kayla Lund. Again, you're expecting the heavy hit, right? But nope, she notices that there's a place on the court where the other players aren't.
Ende serving for the set. And that's wide, and the set belongs to the Pitt Panthers, the defending ACC champions. Win the first set 25-9. A dominant performance by the Pitt Panthers. It had to be exactly what Dan Fisher was looking for.
It had to, and especially what we saw in that Syracuse game was kind of service errors. No service errors in the sense of serving aggressively in this game.
And 3 aces as well. Jason Kennedy going to the chalkboard or the clipboard, as the case may be, on their first match, and then did win the third set against Louisville to extend the match to a 4th set. Louisville was rated 11th last week, Pitt 11th this week, and that's touched by the Panthers, so the first point of the second set belonging to Boston College.
Going back to BC, getting back in this game, I'd really like to see number 4, right? Anna Murphy, she's a freshman libero in there. One thing with liberos, especially going to the college level, is you have to be so much more vocal than you were at a club level in high school. I'd love to see her take some control, even though she's a freshman, be confident and just get out there and say, hey guys, I'm the best passer on this team, let me pass the ball.
And Ende with another kill, the level of score at 1. Kayla Lund leads all with 6 kills. Katrina Jensen has 2 for BC. Deep serve, there's Murphy. Yanaselli sent it over. And good block by BC, and one of the few times that Lund has not gotten her way at the net.
Out of system play from BC, but they put over a decent ball that was deep in the court and allowed their offense, right, their defense to offense transition take place, and so they could set up a block.
Katrina Jensen is on the block for BC. Ende, she's blocked. And Boston College, nice start to the second set, 3-1. So you get a look at Katrina Jensen wearing number 9, one of those many freshmen for head coach Jason Kennedy. Talking about Anna Murphy, she serves for the Eagles. Great block of the attempt by Yanaselli for Boston College. Trying to get this in system. Ende, that's dug out beautifully. Murphy with the set. Great dig by Akeo for Pitt. Ende, and she's blocked. Yanaselli at the net.
That was awesome for BC. You could see, I was up here, and you could see their eyes were exactly on Ende, right? Not getting traced by the ball or chasing the ball. They were narrowed in and focused to get that block.
Anna Murphy again on the serve for the Eagles. Trying to get it to Lund again. No block there, and Murphy could not dig it out.
Anytime you have Lexus Akeo, it doesn't matter where she is on the court, she's going to set up Kayla Lund, and Kayla Lund is going to put the ball down. That was a fast tempo out of system set, right? I mean, that's difficult to defend on, especially whether you're blocking or whether you're digging.
Akeo credited with 5 assists. And Pittsburgh with its second point of the second set. Lund again finds the floor inside the line, and she is in a groove.
I love this for Pitt. I mean, is there a game where she isn't firing up? It's so good. There's not much you can say about it because she is so good.
Her parents both Notre Dame athletes. Alicia played volleyball, and Eddie played baseball for the Fighting Irish. Long rally, big swing, Jensen. And Katrina Jensen has been very, very good for Boston College tonight.
So the Pitt block right here is a little bit late, and Katrina Jensen notices it, capitalizes on it. That's exactly how BC is going to get back into this game, is capitalize on Pitt's errors, right? That's exactly what Syracuse did a couple weekends ago.
Penn served too aggressive and long, and the Panthers have drawn within a point. We're going to look at Grace Penn, freshman from Manhattan Beach.
You know, she's from my hometown. That's kind of where I'm from, so love to see California people in the ACC. There's a lot of California people in the ACC.
And we finally get a good look at Chukwu, who has been relatively quiet so far.
And she's been quiet because she is a middle blocker, right? And how you get your middle blockers incorporated, more times than not, it's got to be a great pass. And if this BC team can get their passing and their serve receive and their digging up to par, then they can incorporate Chukwu.
Lund blocked. Chukwu was there again. A senior from Laurel, Maryland. One of just 2 returning starters for Jason Kennedy.
Really smart. You could see her eyes just lock in on Pitt's outside hitter. She knew where the ball was going, and she got her feet there.
Going for Lund again. And another kill for Kayla Lund. I had a lot of notes about Kayla Lund, but I might be out of them by the second set. I mean, she just is putting on a show tonight for the Panthers.
No, and you absolutely have to, if you're going up against Kayla Lund, you have to shut her down. I mean, you can't shut her down, but if you put her in a one-on-one situation, so one blocker going up against her on that outside pin, she's going to win almost every single time.
And the service long from Lund, one of the few things that has not gone right for her tonight, leading the match with 9 kills. Boston College with the 3-point lead here in set number 2. Chukwu will serve. That one is out.
For Pitt to get back into this right now, it is so crucial for them to get a good pass, nice set, and just put the ball down.
Chukwu, a preseason all-conference selection. They go to the middle, and they get a point. Ende delivers.
It's funny because in volleyball, a lot of the times it works in 3 or 4 point runs. So you don't want to get 4 points. 4 points is the point where you say, okay, we got to break this serve, and that's exactly what Pitt did. So they can shift the momentum back into their corner before it gets too late.
And that finds the floor for Boston College. Izzy Flavenna getting the kill. She leads the Eagles now with 3 kills. Pittsburgh got off to an 8-2 start in the first set and really never looked back. Lambros, yet another freshman, serving for the Eagles. And a miss hit by Lund.
You can tell. So BC is targeting Lund on her serve receive. Why are they doing this? Because she's an all-around player, so that means she plays all 6 rotations, right? So she plays front row, where she has to hit and block, and then she plays back row, where she has to pass and dig. And that's really tiresome.
Great block. Great dig by Browski for the Panthers. Ende handled by Murphy. Oh, great cross-court swing by Katrina Jensen. And a timeout going to be taken by Pittsburgh. Boston College. Very nice response, Anna, after a first set in which they just got steamrolled. We'll get your thoughts on that when we come back. Jason Kennedy really happy with the response of his Eagles club after losing the first set. And the one thing that Boston College has done well in this set, Anna, is they've handled their business with their own service, which they did not do in the first set.
No, they're making their serves, and again, they're serving aggressively, and they're getting a lot of points. Let's see, out of 11 serves, they've gotten 6 of those points back.
Panthers get that one. Sabrina Starks with a cross-court swing, and Levers will serve for the Panthers.
What BC has done a great job of this set is keeping that momentum, right? They transferred the energy to their side of the court, and they've been able to maintain it.
Set up for Lund in the middle. Dug out. Hit Diggs. Get another swing. Touched on the way out. Jordan Lockwood, junior from Friendswood, Texas. Really struggled with the first weekend. More errors than kills in both of the matches last weekend, but gets the swing there to pull the Panthers within 4. Lockwood. Back-to-back strong swings from Jordan Lockwood.
2 in a row, and not just strong, but smart also. The first one, we saw a set that was a little close to the net. She was still aggressive, knew where to put it. That one, she saw there was a hole in the block and put it to that deep left back corner of BC's side.
Gives you an idea of the depth of this Pittsburgh squad. And BC coming over the net. And a point to the Panthers, who are now within 12-10.
That's the one disservice of a 6-2, right? Because your setter's back row. Now, if she was front row, she could obviously do that, right? You can't reach over the net, so to say, but you can jump and have the other team touch it before you bring it back to your side.
Levers on the service for the Panthers. And the Panthers coming strong with a block. And Jordan Lockwood now is starting to have an impact on this match.
She is, and she's, again, like we said, the depth of this team and the depth of not just their skill, but their intelligence, their volleyball IQ runs deep.
Great timeout by Dan Fisher. That's a great ball by Katrina Jensen. Earned the point for Boston College.
Boston College, number 8, Claire Naughton.
Claire Naughton. We featured her at the top of the telecast. Against Louisville. Wow. Quick kill. Sabrina Starks makes it a 1-point set.
This is nice back and forth from both BC and Pitt. Everyone's really trying to get that momentum back into their corner. And one thing we can see from Pitt, especially in these next couple of rotations, is Lexis Akeo is in. And she's gonna distribute that ball extremely well.
Faki on the service for the Panthers. Great block, kept alive by Yanaselli for the Panthers. Yanaselli again with a big swing. Lund, not going to handle that. Anna Murphy not able to handle the dig. And
Panthers, point Boston College. Second for the Eagles, number 4, Anna Murphy.
We've seen this a lot tonight. Lots of nets. Because we've seen a couple nets and a couple doubles, right, from both sides. It happens. You can't really do anything about it. It happens.
And a service ace for Boston College with a response.
Again, capitalizing on Pitt's errors, right? It's one of those things you can't get mad at as a coach. Yeah, we all double sometimes, but one thing BC can do is, hey, that was an error. Let's keep on going and let's get this energy. Keep it.
And another ace. Had one ace last weekend and serving well here as Boston College has built a 4-point lead in the second set.
I said I wanted Anna Murphy to step up, right? When you're a libero, you have 3 jobs: pass, dig, and serve. And she's done a great job this set of doing all 3.
Makes her way to Boston College by way of Indiana. Kayla Lund getting the kill. The block unsuccessful by BC. Sabrina Starks going out of the match. You look at Dan Fisher. From the University of the Pacific. Coaching the men's volleyball team as an assistant there. Last 4 years, Panthers have gone to the NCAA tournament. See if they try to get this to Lund. No, they're going to go the other way. Ende dug out. Tip shot. Ende got to it for the Panthers. Lund's going to take a swing, and that's handled. Long rally. And misplayed by the Panthers. They couldn't get it where they were going. Poor set there. And so the Eagles. And this has really been a good set because the Eagles got off to a great start. Then the timeout taken by Dan Fisher, and the Panthers reeled them in on the scoreboard. But the Eagles have had a really good response here. As Akeo put that somewhere where nobody could get to it.
You know, BC has, you bring up a great point, and it's because they're capitalizing on the tiny errors, right? Like we saw a couple points back, the double.
And Ende is wide with her swing. And Pittsburgh takes a timeout, trailing by 5 points here in the second set. And I would imagine Pittsburgh is one of the top volleyball clubs, not two-time ACC Coach of the Year, and was rewarded with a 7-year contract extension. And we get a whistle.
I'm guessing they had to replay the point. Either someone didn't whistle or didn't wave in or didn't sign correctly.
Lund. Wow. Bringing a heavy arm. Grace Penn was in position but could not handle it. And the Boston College lead is 18-14. Boston College trying to do something here that they haven't done. The last 7 times these two schools have met, Pitt has won in a sweep.
And both of them have gone through some rebuilding years. Dan Fisher has been able to do this fairly quickly because he's such a good recruiter, right? He's great at recruiting, and I think BC is going through their rebuilding time right now. So I'm excited to see BC within the next couple of years.
See Pittsburgh winning last year in a sweep. They've won the last 7 meetings, in fact, in a sweep. Boston College has won only once. It was back in 2000, and it was in Boston, or Chestnut Hill to be more precise. Wow. Going cross court. Another big swing for Kayla Lund, her 12th kill of the match.
The past couple of points, you can see Kayla Lund hit hard down the line, and now she just hit hard a cut shot. We call that a cut shot when it's to the left front of the other side of the court. That's a hard shot to put down. Super hard like that, too. It's incredibly difficult, and that's what makes her such a dynamic player.
Combination of power and precision, and she serves. And misplayed on the back line by Peyton Minyard. So
makes up for a couple of her missed serves, right?
4th ace for the Panthers. Eagles also have 4. Great block, but it goes out. You see Jordan Lockwood again being a strong presence at the net for the Panthers.
She's just played disciplined. So far, she's been disciplined. She sees there's a little bit of a late block there, and so she capitalizes on it.
Stop here. That's Lori Stahara talking to the official score. That play is under review. Chuck Fleet is our up official tonight, and that's Lori Stahara at the scorers table. Pittsburgh has not led in this set. It was tied once at 1-1, but they've not led.
They could be looking for a touch or a net, or whether it touched the top of the tape. I bet BC is looking if it touched the top of the tape or it touched BC players' hands, right?
So, checking all the angles. Make sure they get it right.
It looks like you can zoom in, and it looks like they're looking at the play
before it.
And whether a Pitt player touched the net. These challenges and these plays that can be under review can be huge momentum shifters, whether the team that won the point previously gets the point back, or whether the team that lost the point wins it back. So they're trying to see if there is a Pitt player touching the net.
There was not. So the call was upheld. The block goes out. Boston College standing strong here.
That's a big point for BC to get back. Again, changing the momentum back in their favor, especially closing in on the last 5 points of the set.
Now, we said the last time these teams met, Pittsburgh won in straight sets, but all of the sets with only a couple of points. And the Panthers get the touch and the point. It was 25-23, 25-22, and 25-23 last year between these two teams. So not all sweeps are created equal.
They definitely are not. And normally during a season, we don't know what's going to happen with postseason, but normally in your RPI going towards your postseason, that would all count.
Valeria Vasquez-Gomez will serve for the Panthers. Lund from the middle, wow. Bringing the heat, Anna Murphy not able to return.
So here's that out-of-system play. And this ball is set from such a, again, I hate this word, but a weird angle. It's crossing Kayla Lund's body in a point, or it's not crossing her body, and it's hard to get your shoulders around the ball so you can snap down on it, get that top spin, and get a kill.
Well, here, you want to see some power. Watch Lund come from the middle of your screen.
And that's a hard angle to hit a ball from. It speaks to how athletic and how much of a good all-around player, even though she's back row. She's not front row where she's leading the team in kills, where her main job is offense. Her main job in the back row is to play defense and serve receive. And she's absolutely just killing it all the way around.
Yeah, 500 hitting percentage, an ace, 12 kills to lead all players. She hit .563 in the 3-set loss to Syracuse.
I think the biggest thing with Kayla Lund is just how much of a leader she is on the court, not just vocally, but also through her play, which is huge and exactly what you're looking for in your senior leadership.
Okay, we had a point overturned, so BC, it's 21-18 is the count. Lambros serves for the Eagles. Lund setting this time. Good dig by Bridget Green for the Eagles. And that's long from Lockwood. And Boston College 3 points away from taking a set off the Pitt Panthers, which they have not done in the 7 previous meetings. Lambros, the freshman from Fullerton, California, started both matches last weekend. She serves her team 3 points away from evening the match. Starks and the Panthers not ready to say goodnight on set 2.
So we call this play in volleyball a slide. It's when the middle runs like that. So we saw Sabrina Starks run behind the setter. It's kind of the same footwork as a layup in basketball, but when she connects on her slide, she's had a great slide her whole career.
Levers with the deep serve. Claire Naughton handling her business for the Eagles. Now 2 points away.
These last 3 points in a set can be extremely difficult because it takes so much more focus and determination to get in there and really just gas on the pedal, right? Gas on the pedal, let's not give up, focus, play your game. Finish out the set and get a win.
To use the soccer term, can you see this out? Free ball. Panthers get it over. Set by Murphy. Beautiful change of pace by Yanaselli. Set point for Boston College. Sylvia Yanaselli from Italy.
Out of system, great 5-and-5 set from libero Anna Murphy. We call that 5 feet in from the sideline, 5 feet off the net.
Naughton serves for the set and delivers an ace.
Ace for the Eagles. Number 8, clear.
1 set apiece. After Pitt was dominant in the first set, Boston College kills. Pitt hitting at 351. BC, they were in the negative hitting in the first set, but they've rebounded very nicely. And Boston College has served well with 5 aces. Well, we've got ACC football coming your way tomorrow. Duke will be at Syracuse, 12:30 Eastern for the kickoff. Our friends Tom Wormy, James Bates, and Lindsay Rowley will be on the call for that at the Carrier Dome. The rebuilt Carrier Dome.
I know, they finally got air conditioning. You'd think an air conditioning company sponsoring a stadium, there'd be air conditioning, but...
You'd think. You'd think. All right, pivotal third set on the way. Boston College serves first here in the third set. Ende. That's handled. Coming up in the middle, Yanaselli earning the first point for Boston College.
What we saw in set 2 from Boston College was a much more disciplined and focused team than we saw in set 1. And you can see this right here. They're not letting up on Pitt, coming out strong in the first point, keeping that serve.
And then Pittsburgh coming right back. And Sabrina Starks, powerful right down the middle and right to the floor.
That slide, or no, not that slide, just a quick, we call a lot of things numbers in volleyball. That's called a quick hit, quick one. Huge when her and Lexis Takeo can connect like that.
Well-placed serve, but the Eagles able to dig it up. BC with the block. Little change of pace. Wokolo puts it away. Chiamaka Wokolo sophomore from Columbus, Ohio.
A lot of mess at the net. Now, normally, you would think Alexis Sakeo, number one, would set it outside to Kayla Lund. But instead, she sets it to the middle, and that's what makes Alexis Sakeo a great setter, because she's smart, she thinks on her toes, and she doesn't do what you're expecting her to do.
That goes long off the arm of Claire Naughton.
And it looks like she was trying to get a touch out of that. So while it did go long, it was calculated. There's good misses and there's bad misses in volleyball. It was a pretty good miss. If I was Jason Kennedy, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with losing that.
It was a good aggressive swing. You're right, trying to get a touch. Baki with the service. Nice little touch from Katrina Jensen to earn the point for the Eagles, defeating the block there. 5th kill for Jensen. When you need a point, number 23 is a pretty good person to dial up.
And that's set by Alexis Sakeo. It was tight. She got up. Oh, it's beautiful. We call this butter. It's amazing. And she noticed that the BC blockers were biting on her. They forgot that she was back row and she couldn't tip. So she sent it to the outside. Kayla Lund was one-on-one with the BC right side.
13 kills for her. Nice little change of pace. Yanniselli asserting herself from the end of the second set on. Little change of pace, sneaking it inside the line.
Smart play. She notices that the corner's open, and she takes advantage of it. Again, hit it where the other team isn't, right? That's the basic rules of volleyball.
Ashley Browski could not get there for the Panthers. And attention being given to Wakolo.
Happens. You come down, you land weird.
Brief conversation with the athletic training staff, and we're ready to roll. Anna Murphy. Going to Lund. Well blocked by BC. Lund will try again. And the block not successful that time.
In that block, BC had the right idea. They got Lund over there. They closed the block. But again, not just closing the block, pressing over, making sure that your hands are over the net, allowing no room for that ball to get over.
Lund with the jump serve. Yanniselli dug up by Browski. And the change of pace just not going to get there for Jordan Lockwood that time. Dan Fisher not real thrilled with that turn of events. Izzy Clavena into the match. And Grace Penn, who had a season-high 16 assists on Saturday, will serve it for Boston College. And it's long. Service error. And the Panthers, the 2-point lead.
That was lucky. Kayla Lund is sitting there saying, phew, that was close. That was too close for me.
Both these teams really struggled with service, which I would imagine is to be expected your first match out of the gate. Good block by Panthers. Jordan Lockwood was at the net. And the Pittsburgh lead is 3 here in the third set.
Both of these teams, going back to your point about serving, they've gotten back and they've been so aggressive. One thing with BC that I saw in the second set that stood out the most to me was number 4 libero Anna Murphy. She has 2 aces on the night and she has 19 total receptions, which just shows she's being way more aggressive in the back row. I talked about that in the second set. I'd like to see her be more aggressive. She showed up. She was more aggressive and took control of the defense.
Clemena winning the point for Boston College. He went out, but it was touched on the way out. So a 7-5 count. And a service error. Bridget Green along with the serve. Well, North Carolina won the first 2 sets. Number 14 Duke has rebounded. They've taken the third now in the 4th set. In Chapel Hill. Here in Pittsburgh, Panthers winning the first set 25-9. BC winning the second set 25-19. And within 2 points here in the third set. Service for Chukwujekwu. Has led the Eagles in blocks every year of her career. And that's long.
Huge effort from Chukwujekwu. Anytime you see a middle take a dig, everyone gets really excited because that's not their job and they're usually not good at it because they're so tall. But I love it. You can see the bench, even though they didn't get the point, they're keeping that energy up. She came back and high-fived everyone, and everyone was excited for her.
Maria Popovic from Serbia with the service for the Panthers. Oh, nice tip. Gabby McKay. Nicely played by McKay.
This shows experience with Gabby McKay. Seeing that there was that junk at the net, there was an overpass, and being able to calmly not freak out and go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with the ball? Calmly go up and just pay attention to the pit side of the court, put the ball in an open spot.
Poised finish by McKay. Wow. Down the line. Well played by Lund again.
Might not be the big sexy hit we're looking for, but it gets points. So how she did that, she goes across, her shoulders aren't showing that she's going to hit line right down that line. She goes thumb up and she puts a certain spin on the ball. You see this a lot in beach volleyball actually, but when you can bring that to your indoor game, there's almost no stopping it.
And a service ace for the Panthers. Faki back on the serve. It's been a back and forth set. Neither team has won more than 3 straight points in the set. Aces even at 5. Blocked, tipped, dug out. Another great block by the Panthers. Beautiful tip by Jensen. Katrina Jensen having herself a fine match. Maybe her 6th kill of the match.
That rally in particular kind of shows how BC has gotten smarter as the match has progressed.
Great block. Panthers keeping it alive. And through the block and through the floor for Ende.
Pay attention to this dig. So we call that covering. When you cover the block, when you cover your hitter, you anticipate that they're going to get blocked, because if they get blocked, then you get 3 more tries to get the kill, right? So great coverage by Pitt, and we saw this a lot in their match against Syracuse. They're a great covering team. It's just more not getting tired when you cover the ball so much and being able to be smart and put the ball over and get a kill.
Browski with the dig. Big swing by Yaniselli, and the Panthers not able to return it. BC within 3. Again, nobody's really been able to get on a long run here. We've talked a lot about, as you look at Jason Kennedy, we've talked about Kayla Lund, rightly so, 15 kills. Ende has 7 for the Panthers. And Boston College getting the block. Yaniselli, a sophomore from Italy, and a timeout.
Postseason, but remember, a lot of the top, we're only ranking 15 right now, but a lot of the top 25, usually Big Ten, it's Pac-12.
Lund got some floor. Well, again, 2020, a year unlike any other, no matter, there's no aspect of our lives that has not been changed. Kayla Lund, her 16th kill.
It allows also, I think, having the ACC play, it allows everyone's attention in the volleyball world to be focused on the ACC and kind of get that recognition that it doesn't always get.
Lund with the service. Great swing by Yaniselli again.
Yaniselli, I'm impressed with her play in the past, maybe this set and half of last set. She's played smart, and especially on her block, she's done a great job blocking.
BC did not hit well last weekend in Louisville, but Yaniselli and McKay were the only 2 Eagles to hit 200 or better in those 2 matches. And Wokolo, who had her ankle retaped, not able to return it for the Panthers. So the Eagles within 1. Remember, Boston College has never defeated Pitt in this building. They've only won once against the Panthers all time, and that was in October of 2000 in Chestnut Hill. Ende. Ende will take another swing. Kept by Penn. Oh, and a quick release over the top for Wokolo.
Alexis Akeo putting the tempo on this ball. She gets a great pass off the block. Great pass, sets up her middle. Anytime you can incorporate middles into your game, you're going to have a good time.
Akeo with 14 assists. It's always tempting to talk about kills, but the assist in Akeo has been sensational tonight.
Every time she puts her hands on the ball, I'm screaming inside. It's so pretty. And she's just a sophomore. She's just a sophomore.
So is Ashley Browski. She serves for the Panthers. And that goes out. Lockwood had thoughts about dropping it in the corner, but
it looks like Dan Fisher is challenging that play. I think Pitt was yelling touch.
okay.
So they think that it went off the block and then it went out. And you can see, so when referees replay this particular call, whether or not it was a touch, they look for change of direction. Oftentimes, it is so hard to tell if there was a touch. This is a fast-moving sport, right? However, referees can do it. Can I do it? I don't know. I don't know if I have that eye. But they're looking for change in direction and change in spin.
So watch this swing.
To me, it looks like the spin in the direction was slightly changed.
Yeah.
Again, slightly. This is a game of millimeters.
Take another look at it. See the block there. It is a touch, so Pitt does win the point. And a kill by Lockwood.
And with these challenges, if you win the challenge, you don't lose a timeout. If you lose a challenge, you lose a timeout.
Browski serving for the Panthers. Yanaselli dug up by Browski. They go back to Yanaselli. Sylvia Yanaselli.
She's really impressing me tonight, especially, like I said, in the past set and a half. She's not just hitting and swinging hard, but she's noticing when the block is late, like we just saw there, and going off high hands or figuring out how she can get the kill any way possible.
That last one, her 7th. She leads the Eagles in that category. Kayla Lund leads all with 16. Service error by the Eagles. And this strikes me as being a particularly crucial junction of this set. Pitt has a lead. Boston College can't let them get three or four points further down the road without answering with some of their own. Great swing from the right side. Izzy Clavena with the kill.
And that's exactly what Jason Kennedy will tell this team. Hey, guys, they serve aggressively. Get out of it any way you can, especially when an aggressive server comes up for Pitt serving against BC like Kayla Lund. Just get out of it. Do a high set to a pin and just put the ball over.
Wow. Quick and in the middle, Sabrina Starks puts it away for Pitt.
Perfect pass, connecting with Lexis Akeo. Again, a perfect set. I haven't seen a bad set from her tonight. It's hard not to get kills when you have Lexis Akeo as your setter.
Akeo last weekend averaging right around 6 assists per set. Great dig by Browski. Panthers starting to put some distance between themselves and Boston College on the scoreboard, 18-14. And a timeout taken by BC. I think a really good timeout for Jason.
A coach to bring in and change the pace of the program, it's going to be him.
See if the BC timeout gets them back into this match. Again, neither team has gone off on long runs. At the net, tipped down by Ende. Born in Nigeria, coming to the United States at age 5.
Her eyes, her head does not move. She stays focused, and it's so crucial when any play at the net takes place like that. You have to press over, and you have to be so aggressive and so sound in your net play.
Another aggressive serve from Pittsburgh. It's been their MO tonight, and mishandled by Clavena. The error on the Eagles, and Pittsburgh now up 6.
Historically, this is the Pitt we know and love. They get into these circumstances and they do not let up. And they're really good at closing out games. They get within 5 points and they can do it fast. And it's pretty. It's pretty.
Popovich prepares to serve for Pittsburgh. Jason Kennedy with a question for Lori Stahara. Naughton putting it away for Boston College.
The communication with Naughton and whoever the setter is, because we're in a 6-2, on those out of system, so not perfect passes, is great. She's already into her approach. We call that a two-step set. People have different words for it, but essentially she is on her last and final step of her approach where she's jumping when the setter sets the ball.
Lambros serving for the Eagles. Lund. Dug up. Try Lund again. And the BC block is successful. McKay at the net for BC.
They just shut down Pitt. Closed block, pressing over. Everyone was paying attention to Kayla Lund and where she was going to hit. That is textbook. Anybody in high school watching it right now that plays volleyball, that's textbook blocking.
And Lambros into the net. And that's the last thing that BC needed.
Especially after a block. Blocking is such a momentum shifter. You really want to control the controllables, not miss your serve.
Yeah, service error at this point. Very, very difficult. I'm sure Jason Kennedy not thrilled. Jensen going cross court. Lund going to the scores table. Free ball is over. Change of pace, nicely done by Naughton on the right side to win the point for BC.
Naughton is smart, staying focused, and just doing her job. If everyone does their job in this circumstance, then no one has to do anybody else's job, right?
Heavy swing and sends it long. And Pittsburgh
not pleased in a sense of, okay, wait, yeah, we may be young and we may be freshmen, but we can hang with this Pitt team who's consistently amazing.
Lund. Great block. Ende was there along with Ricolo. Point to Pitt now, 3 points away from the third set.
To close out this set, Pitt just needs to get their serve over, focus, play their game. Again, like we just said, BC said, hey, we can kind of hang with Pitt. Pitt needs to say, no, we're Pitt. You cannot hang with us.
And that was not well played on the back line, so a service ace for Ende. And now Boston College calls timeout. And I made the reference to soccer, seeing a match out, seeing a set out. And this may be where Boston College's inexperience
Back on campus really made me think, okay, I never want to go back to college.
So professional student not in your future.
Nope, not in my future, for sure. Professional adult, I don't mind that. I'm okay with that.
Ende serves. Pitt 2 points away from the third set. Dug by Murphy. Giannicelli is long and wide. Set point for Pitt.
You like the thought from Sophia Lambros, number 5, the BC setter that's in right now. She's trying to get it to Giannicelli because Giannicelli's been on so far. She can normally execute. I like the thinking.
Yep, Giannicelli with 7 kills to lead BC. Ende serving for the set. And the block by Pitt earns them the set 25-18. Third
set more court. And I saw a lot of that from her in the set that BC won, right? That second set.
Well, know, the edge that Pitt has. They have won 34 straight in this building, and they're 15-0 lifetime against Boston College here. Pitt does not lose here. And remember, both of these teams coming into tonight's match 0-2 off of their first weekend of play. Long from Katrina Jensen. Popovich will go back to serve for the Panthers. For Pittsburgh next weekend, they are at Notre Dame. And then they will close out the abbreviated season the weekend of October 23rd, 24th, 25th. They will be home to Louisville. That will be a match that a lot of people are going to want to see. Well placed by Jensen. For Jensen, that will be her 7th kill of the match, leveling the score at 1 here in the 4th.
You could hear everybody in the gym when that serve went over do a little oof. That I wouldn't want to be on the receiving side of that serve. Huge props to BC for getting out of that serve and that rotation very fast.
Naughton serving for the Eagles. Lund. Not to be denied. What I'm impressed with her is she can do so many things so well in putting a ball away.
Well, she doesn't just hit hard, right? Earlier I said she had 23 kills on the season. She doesn't. She has 35 kills on the season. She's second in the ACC, which, again, we're only 2-4 games in for some teams, but we're halfway through the season. That's huge. And it's not just because she hits hard. It's because she hits smart.
Yeah, we've seen some of her change of pace balls find the floor. We'll get another go here, but I had an error on Pitt.
That was a little confusing. I thought they called a double on Lexis Akeo, but it appears they called 4 hits.
So all even at 2. Anna Murphy, 2-time Indiana State All-Star in high school. Dug by Browski. Lund blocked. Well done. Great job by the Boston College blockers in the middle. Gabby McKay at 6'3", rising and denying.
The focus on this block. She has really fired up in the past couple sets and just focused so much on that block. And you could see, here's the thing, blocks, like I said, huge energy shifter. The bench went crazy, absolutely screaming after she got that point.
Another point to Boston College.
Boston College.
Even at 3. Day with the service error. Lund, long. Grace Penn will serve again.
It was looking for the touch on that. Dan Fisher's going to challenge again.
He is going to challenge, and while they look Challenge is unsuccessful. Kayla Lund doesn't believe it.
Get ready, though, for Kayla Lund to be fired up coming out of this.
Or a little change of pace. Murphy sets it. Yanaselli with the free ball, sending it over. Go to Lund. Nobody's going to deal with that. Nana Murphy, no shot there.
Ball doesn't lie. That's what we say. She was fired up and she was ready to hit that ball hard. Got a redo. Great thing about volleyball, this sport is so fast. You usually get to redo your mistakes and capitalized it, put the ball away.
19 kills for Lund. So this match now tied at 4. It's been tied at 1, at 2, at 3, and now at 4. Long. The attempt by Yanaselli. And this is an upset. Number 14, Duke, goes down in 4 sets to the Tar Heels. Both these teams trying to avoid an 0-3 start. A little change of pace by Clavenna. And a great block. McCray in the middle again, along with Clavenna on the block for BC. Didn't even get to the block, and that's. It looks like from our angle, it looked like Dan Fisher was actually kind of talking to Kylie Levers after that play. It's more about set distribution, and because the blocks for BC were so much on that left front side for them, right front side for Pitt, it's important to distribute the blocks and get a set out to the outside, or at least somewhere, so it can get a little bit less congestion, I guess. Beautiful touch shot by Jordan Lockwood to win the service back for Pittsburgh. And the Panthers a 6-5 lead. Ashley Browski serves for Pitt. 10 sets. And well played by Clavenna. Clavenna, her 7th kill of the match. Jason Kennedy, I know what he's telling this BC team. They lost a couple points. He's saying pass, set, hit. Stay focused on your game. It starts with a pass. After you get the pass, you set the ball, then you hit it. Easy. When you simplify this game, right? We're going to say the same thing. It becomes easy. A big swing by Starks through the block and out. So the Panthers edge in front, 7-6. Levers will serve for the Panthers. And sets. And through the block and out, Clavenna. That is the 8th kill for Clavenna. And we're tied again. Sophia Lambros serving for BC. Had 39 assists last weekend in the 2 matches against Louisville. Ende dug up by Murphy. Oh, and the reload put to the floor by Sabrina Starks. Anytime you get junk at the net, Sabrina Starks is going to capitalize on it. It speaks to her age and her experience. She's a junior. Just the calmness of going up and being able to see the opposite side of the court, put the ball where BC players are not. Good poise for the finish. At the net, BC wins that point. And guess what? We're tied again.
We have seen some great defense in these past couple of plays. I really liked Lexis Sakaya's up that she just got. So when you dig the ball, we say, up, I got it up. The thing about Lexis Sakaya is she's a fantastic setter. She can set it from anywhere on the court, but she also, her defense is phenomenal.
And again, Starks in the middle puts it away. 8 ties, and now our third lead change. Great tip, set it up by Wakolo for Pittsburgh.
This is the Pitt we've seen previous seasons where they put over an aggressive ball, even if it's not a kill. And the other team, BC in this case, gets a dig, but it's too close to the net, and Pitt is able to be smart, calm, confident, and get the point.
Faki, the service for the Panthers. Put away by Chukwujekwu.
I like the thought from Sophia Lambros. She did a back set. So she ran that quick middle hitter set that we talk about, but she did a back set. I'm excited from everything I've seen tonight. I'm excited to see BC in the years to come with this freshman gate. Yeah,
this is a very large but also very talented freshman class. Lund with a tip. Lambros was able to get it. And BC hanging very, very tough. Katrina Jensen. And understanding however this match turns out, BC's going to look at this and say, you know, this was a really good performance by us as Wakolo sends that one to the floor to win the point for Pittsburgh.
You're exactly right. Again, you can see BC's confidence get increased over the past couple sets. Especially, I think the best player that you can look at that is showing this with her play and how vocal she is, and even when she doesn't, like just there, Anna Murphy, she didn't get the dig, but she got up, and you can see in her mind, it's going, oh wait, I almost had that. I can be here. I can play with this.
Lund finds the floor. That's 20.
Career high is 23. We're getting there. Hold one up. See, if you're going to put one blocker up against Kayla Lund, she's going to win.
Ende with a deep service. Murphy, a bit of a miss-hit. And with a free ball, wow. Boston College makes something out of a couple of very indifferent touches.
Gets the kill. I love to see Libero getting the kill.
I'm sure that energizes everybody else on the bench.
BC's bench, even though they're almost on the verge, they're close right now, but if they lose this set, their bench has been very impressive. And in these times where there's no fans, it's really important for your bench to be so vocal.
Murphy digs it up. Through the block. Dug out by the Panthers. Lund, and she is blocked emphatically. Clavena at the net.
Whew, that was a pretty block, and the bench is insane. The focus, right? We talk about eyes. Her eyes were not on the ball. Her eyes were on Kayla Lund, ready and focused to shut her down.
Not that time.
And that's where you see the senior experience. If she gets blocked, she's angry. I love athletes like that.
But this is the hallmark of a great, no matter the sport, the ability to say, I'm not going to be denied. I will not let my team lose. 21st kill for Kayla Lund, and now in service for the Panthers. Set up by Browski. Murphy with the dig for the Eagles. While Browski able to get to that one. And a great block, Yanaselli that time for Boston College. All even at 13.
The energy and momentum from BC, not just their bench on the court, everyone on their side of the net is, you would think they'd be winning right now and they wouldn't be tied.
Our 11th tie of this set. Too much steam on that one from Wakolo for the Eagles to handle.
You can tell Pitt a little frustrated. Coaches are a little frustrated. If Kayla Lund can come out here, she's in the back row, but again, be utilized from the back row, I think Pitt can pull this way.
Browski, Lund, dug up, 10 sets, tipped by Naughton. Lund in the middle, and a double hit. And the point to Pitt.
That's rough. So, the call ended up, it looked like a double, but the call and what they're arguing about right now, Jason Kennedy, is in volleyball, I don't even know how to explain this, but it's called a lift, and it's literally the difference between a ball, you taking the ball and digging it open-handed, one hand, or with a fist. And it could hit your palm, but if you have it open-handed, it's probably going to be called a lift.
Kayla Lund, her 22nd kill for head coach Dan Fisher tonight. Timeout on the floor. 15-13 in the fourth set. Panthers trying to put it away, but the Eagles hanging tough on the road. But Kayla Lund on the verge of a career night. And, you know, a lot of kills and is still hitting .310.
Yeah, Dan Fisher earlier this week, he said, hey, we have an All-American here, and she's playing at a really high level. One thing that he specifically spoke about Kayla Lund on was her ability in this time. A lot of teams got their spring cut short. Well, everyone got their spring cut short. And spring is such a vital time to come together as a team, grow, develop. And he said that Kayla Lund, one of the captains, she is the captain, got the team together, did a lot of Zoom meetings, and just took this great amount of leadership in anything and everything that had to do with the team.
Browski with a service error. Yeah, Chinaza Ende, another one of the captains, taking on leadership roles. Gabby McKay serves for the Eagles. They're down 2. Big swing and off the touch. Valeria Vasquez-Gomez puts it away.
You could see that was kind of a slow-paced set, and she noticed that the block wasn't quite on time and took advantage of it.
Crucial time in this set and therefore this match as Pittsburgh has opened up the 3-point lead. Good comeback by Clavenna. 9th kill of the match.
Good decision by Grace Penn, distributing sets. She noticed that Sabrina Starks, number 11 in white, was jumping with her, more anticipating the middle to be set in that circumstance because it was a perfect in-system pass. So she decided to go behind her. Again, your other go-to hitter would be Claire Naughton. Great decision-making by Grace Penn, and she's a freshman. That's good.
Big swing by Ende. Ende puts it away. And again, a 3-point Pittsburgh lead.
That one-on-one matchup, you can't leave these Pittsburgh hitters with one blocker.
Vasquez Gomez out of Puerto Rico, a redshirt freshman. Great cross-court strike by Katrina Jensen. Claire Naughton serving for Boston College. Ende, great dig, and then into the net by Chukwu-Jekwu.
You could notice before Claire Naughton went back to serve how loud this gym is right now just due to the benches. I mean, it's a bunch of cutouts and the benches in here.
And us.
And us. But the benches, I love how awake and vocal both of these sides right now are.
And timeout taken by Boston College.
Timeout, Boston College.
It is an entirely different world for us in so many ways, and of course no fans allowed inside Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. So Pittsburgh and BC, they will meet again tomorrow. Panthers at Notre Dame, and then against Louisville back here in Fitzgerald to close out the season, and then we wait and see what happens.
What's going to happen, and it's so up in the air. It changes weekly. Again, we're looking for an April 2021 postseason. But one thing that people have said about this group is this is a tough group. You've Notre Dame, Syracuse, and Louisville.
Right.
BC is kind of going through that rebuilding phase, but I mean, this is Pitt. These are ranked teams.
Yeah, and Notre Dame's playing well also in this group.
Notre Dame's fantastic. They have really athletic girls on their team. It's difficult to be in this group right now.
And Boston College will end its season with a couple of home matches against Notre Dame. You look at Jason Kennedy, and they had a successful season last year. Historically, they have not played successful volleyball against Pittsburgh, period, and particularly in this building. No matter what happens, Jason Kennedy can go back in that locker room tonight and say, you went toe-to-toe with one of the better volleyball clubs in the country.
Lots of learning is coming out of this game. And also, if I was BC, no matter where you step aside, you're getting a lot of confidence.
All over the block.
As a freshman, you're getting a lot of confidence in there. I mean, we can see it in libero Anna Murphy. I'm going to talk about her a lot. She has gotten so much more confident in this match.
And it might be a thing where Jason Kennedy says, Pitt, they're where we want to be. So learn from them.
Exactly.
Pitt enjoying its largest lead of the set. Lund. And that'll be number 23 for Kayla Lund. Ties her career high.
BC's regrouping. They're coming together saying, hey, we've got to get back in this.
Pitt 4 points away from taking the match. Dug up. Ende gets it across. Block. Dug up by Murphy for BC. Great block by the Panthers. Free ball. Blocked again. Dug up by Murphy again. Can they get it to Lund? They can, but she's blocked at the net, and BC wins the point.
Huge energy, and the bench is screaming, shouting, jumping around. Rallies like this, when it's close like this, key to win.
enthusiasm of Katrina Jensen. Jensen with 9 kills gets the block there. Pitt asking for a touch. They don't get it off the swing by Ende. And now a Pittsburgh timeout. Well, it's a challenge, I beg your pardon. There was an immediate reaction by Ende that there was a touch.
You can. It's much easier to see whether or not there was a touch when you're on the court.
That angle is hard to tell.
Late block there.
Right there. Looks like we have fingers going backwards. But it's the speed of the ball. It's impossible to tell if it is deflected or changes direction. Again, the call on the floor was no touch. And the point to Boston College.
Nonetheless, a timeout was taken. Regroup. Hey guys, we have 4 points. Let's side out right here and let's close out this match.
The score remains 21-18. Go with the call on the floor. Dug up by Naughton. And a double hit.
Yeah.
And the point to Pitt.
It looked like she had a double. I think the down ref called a double, and then the first ref, so the up ref, called a back row violation.
Okay. 22-18. And that got the floor. And an ace for the Panthers, now 2 points away. Ende. And Boston College taking time, down 5. But the Panthers just 2 points away from closing this out.
That's one of those mistakes that at a Division I level, on serve receive, you sit there and you say, oh, we're Division I. We don't have to follow the ball to the line. But it's just like in baseball. I don't care what level you're at. You want to watch the ball. If you're catching a fly ball, you want to watch that ball in your glove. I don't care how good you are. You always have to follow the ball to the line so you can see it, watch it, use your eyes, watch it out. Because chances are, if you're moving your feet and you're getting there and you can get behind the ball, it's probably in.
Dan Fisher trying to get his team to close this set and this match out. They were able to do that in the third set. They rolled easily in the first, 25-9. Boston College took the second set at 19. Pitt took the third set at 18.
Dan Fisher, I know one of the big things he preaches is finishing it, right? He needs, in a normal season, we need sweeps. We need to destroy our opponents because in a normal season, the RPI is so important. How much you beat a team by is important, and it can affect your postseason seeding and whether or not you get into the tournament.
Ende. BC's not going to go away. They have really shown some grit and fortitude. Katrina Jensen with the kill.
This is what you're looking for if you're head coach Jason Kennedy. This means, okay, we're doing a good job here. We saw there was a hole in the block, and instead of getting carried away, we're going to just capitalize on Pitt's mistakes.
Grace Penn for BC. Lund, yes! New career high for Kayla Lund.
24 kills.
And it brings Pitt to match point.
I mean, nobody's digging that. That spot is so hard to hit, and hit hard too. Normally you'll see a roll or a tip to that corner. Whew, not with Kayla Lund.
And now she serves for the match. Penn sets. And they're not going to go away. Yanaselli, her 11th kill of the match. And you're talking about Pitt and Dan Fisher. One of the things he told us in our conversation earlier this week, he said, I have a lot of really good players. I'm trying to figure out how they all fit together. And I'm not sure if we have a challenge here, but do we have another review?
Could be seeing if there was a net from that little replay we got on their monitor. Could be seeing if there was a net when Pitt kind of tipped the ball over. But going back to your point, and they win.
And on review, they win a net violation on the Eagles. And so the point awarded to the Panthers, and they win it tonight in 4 sets. Let's take another look. And now BC is challenging.
Oh, it looks like the net was moving a little bit in that replay.
Yeah, let's see. First angle, it looked like there was contact with the net, but that angle doesn't look like it. And so they affirm the decision again, and Pittsburgh wins it 25-19 in the 4th set. And so the Panthers now 1-2, and Boston College is 0-3. And 35 consecutive wins at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse for Pittsburgh. They have now won 16 straight. They are 16-0 against Boston College here inside Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. But this is a match I think that a lot of people are going to be interested to see tomorrow, because Boston College, I love the fight after losing the first set and just getting rolled 25-9. They win the second set at 19. Very competitive in the third set. Very competitive in the fourth set. We'll get your thoughts when we come back. We need to step aside for a second. Pitt Panthers win it in 4 sets over BC.